Today I'm going to be talking about Lionel's new Legacy GP-30 from their 2021 Volume 1 catalog. The GP-30 was built by E&D. It was a second generation diesel locomotive built in the 1960s. So Lionel released this locomotive in the last month, and they made a number of road names for it. And what's cool is that each locomotive has some unique features depending on the specific road name. The GP-30 is very unique in that the roof line, it's got a high roof line that makes it stand out. This is a standard Legacy locomotive. It has dual motors, fan-driven smoke. It has the crew talk dialogue and the new radio chatter dialogue, which I really enjoy that Lionel has added in the last year. And it has the standard Bluetooth, LED lighting, LED number boards, the cab lights up. It has crew figures inside. One of the lighting features on this locomotive is that it's got marker lights, so when the locomotive is in forward, the rear marker lights are on and the front marker lights are off. Then when you put the locomotive in reverse, the front headlight turns off and the front marker lights turn on, and the rear headlight turns on and the rear marker lights turn off, and the marker lights are red. One of the cool little features about this locomotive that I wanted to show you guys is that the Lionel has improved the way that you can add smoke to these locomotives. So they've been doing it on at least a couple of my locomotives. If you guys watched my E7 review video, the Union Pacific E7s, they really make it an easy way to load the smoke fluid into the locomotive. So in the E7s, I showed you guys, you remove the hatch, and there's a big hole to add the smoke fluid. And then in the S1 video that I did, there's a hatch that you remove to put in the smoke into the release valve steam effect. You remove the hatch, and there's a nice big hole easy to add the smoke fluid. So this engine is no different. You know, you'd think that it's hard to add smoke fluid through this little grate right here. There's tiny little holes here. I have an MTH U30C that has these little grates that unfortunately the cover does not come off. So you have to try to get the smoke fluid in through those tiny little grate holes. But Lionel, what they did was they made this cover removable, and you can remove this, and now you've got a nice big hole right here to be able to add the smoke fluid. So that's a nice little feature that I wanted to show you guys. Taking a closer look at the access hatch on the roof and rear of the locomotive, I just wanted to give you guys a quick look at this. So this hatch is very easy to remove. You can just grab it and it pulls right off. And there are 4 magnets here that hold the roof panel on. And then inside here you've got the flywheel for the rear motor, and you've got 3 switches here. The top one here is the run program switch. The middle switch here is the Bluetooth on and off switch, and then the bottom switch here is the smoke on and off switch. And then it's quite easy to put the hatch back on. It just snaps back into place, and the magnets hold it in place. I bought this locomotive for a couple of reasons. Number one, I bought it because, as you can see over the cab, this is a locomotive that has the Chessie colors, but it's actually a CSX locomotive. And what my favorite feature about this locomotive is the fact that it has the CSX badging right above the right below the cab windows, which depicts a time when, if you're familiar, CSX acquired Chessie back in the 1980s, and so this represents them taking their locomotives and just sticking a quick CSX badge and number right below the cab windows. I think that's a cool feature. Lionel also did this with their ST40s. A couple years ago they made a Southern Pacific ST40, but they put a temporary badge underneath the cab with the UP name on it, Union Pacific, depicting when the Union Pacific bought and merged with the Southern Pacific back in 1996. And the reason why I bought this engine in particular with the CSX is because I collect some CSX locomotives. I have a CSX SD70, a CSX SD38, which you'll see later in this video. I'll be lashing this up with the SD38. I did a video on that back at the end of October, review video on that SD38. It's actually the first video that I released for this channel. And then I also have a ES44AC, the honoring the first responders, the police. That's a really cool engine. So I thought this would fit in with my CSX collection. The second reason why I bought this engine was because I like Chessie. I like the Chessie colors. I like the bright yellow, orange, and blue. I love the look of the Chessie kitten. I think it's cool how on the front there's the Chessie kitten. And I have a MTH SD40 Chessie System locomotive. You guys have seen that. I put that in one of my videos. I think it was my Aerotrain video. I ran that around. So I like to collect some Chessie locomotives. I think it's got a really cool paint scheme. What I'll be doing is I'll be running this locomotive around the layout by itself, and then, like I said, I'll be lashing it up with the SD38 and running that on the upper loop. So enjoy this little running session.
Dispatcher here. Start her up. Stand by for track orders. Over.
Yes, sir. We'll fire her up. Out.
What are your orders? Says hold here for 2 east and then take the main to the next interlock. Let me know as soon as 724 gets by. We ought to have a little time to do something. All right, we'll call you right behind 724 then.
Gonna be here for a while. Timetable has us holding here for number 9, and she's running about 20 minutes late.
Switchler says we've got 1 off and 3 on at the head end. Dispatcher, ready to roll. Can I pull? Over.
Hold for track orders. Dispatcher out.
It's gonna be running on long if we don't move on soon. Dispatcher, we're ready. Is it okay to pull?